All right, now we're going to expand our multiplication a little bit further. And what we're going to do is multiplying binomial times binomial. So that means when you look at, you can pick any one of these. Let's look at this one. This right here, there's two terms, a binomial. This one right here, two terms, binomial. So we're doing a binomial times another binomial. And there's a way called foiling. I generally don't go over that. So I'll just kind of explain how it goes. First, and I'm going to zip through this, but I'm not actually going to do it. You take the first thing, so here, and you multiply it by that, then you multiply it by that. Then you take the second thing, and you multiply it by that, and multiply it by that. So there's 4 multiplications that are happening. All right, you're just going to start with, you just pick one of them, multiply it by both of the other side, and then take the next thing and multiply it by both of the other side. So that's what our plan is. So let's take a look at the first one. Whenever it's just an x, I like to make it a 1x. So 1x times 2x. 1 times 2 is 2, and there's an x and an x to get me an x squared. And then I have like that. Maybe I'll just actually go like this for the second one. So a 1x times a 1. So a 1 times 1 is a 1, and there's just an x that's there. So I've taken the first one and I've multiplied it by both of those. Now I'll take the second one and multiply it by both of these. We'll start with this first one though. 3 times 2 is going to be 6, and there's an x there. And then 3 times 1 is just a 3. And generally, for the ones that we're going to be doing, there's going to be some that are alike. So I've got a 2x squared. It's the only x squared. But I've got a 1x and a 6x. Those are alike. And then I've got a 3 on its own. So I've got a 2x squared on its own. I've got a positive 3 on its own. And 1x plus 6x is a 7x. So that's kind of how we're going to be doing it. We're going to be doing the multiplication from here to here, and then adding any like terms and going to our last step. So you should be aware that all of this is extremely new, and we're going to be doing, I don't know, how many examples are there? It's something absurd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 examples on this. And by the end, hopefully you'll have a good understanding. So if you don't understand the first one, that is okay, because we're going to do another 8 more. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So we're going to go 2x times 3x and then 2x times 2. So 2x times 3x, 2 times the 3 here is going to be, I'll just write it like that, 2x times the 3, 2 times 3 is 6, x and x is an x squared. And then we'll do that one. 2x times 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and there's an x. Then we go here. 1 times 3x, 1 times 3 is 3, and there's an x. And then 1 times 2 is just 2. So the multiplication is just multiplication that we've been doing since like grade 4 or grade 5 or something. And then we just have to remember to, if there's a single x, throw it in there. If there's multiple x's, then you can just add the exponents. So there is 2 that are alike. I've got 2 terms that just have an x. So I've got a 6x squared, and I've got a 4x plus 3x, which is a total of 7x. And then I got a plus 2. Let's take a look at another one. I like B, by the way. I like them because there's a 2 in front of the x and a 3 in front of the x, whereas C doesn't have that. So we're going to just add some 1s. So we'll do this one first, and then we'll do that. So 1 times 1 is 1, and there's an x and an x for an x squared. And then we'll do this. A 1 times 1 is a 1, and there's just an x. And then we're going to do these two. So the first one is going to be a negative 1 times a positive 1. Negative 1 times positive 1 is a negative 1, and there's just a single x. And then negative 1 times positive 1 is still a negative 1. So these two are alike. So I've got a 1x squared, and I've got a minus 1. And 1x minus 1x is 0 x's. And if we have 0 x's, we just don't write them at all. So 1 minus 1 is 0, so it's just gone. So we don't need to write it. We just need to write the 1x squared there, and we need to write the minus 1 because these cancel each other out. So I will zoom out here, and we can do the next 6 questions on the next video.